In this harsh landscape, a remarkable species was taking its first steps toward humanity. Meet our earliest ancestors.
These were not quite apes, not quite humans, but something extraordinary in between.
This was a world in transition. Forests were shrinking, savannas expanding.
But our ancestors possessed something special, the courage to venture into the unknown. The climate was becoming increasingly unpredictable. Droughts lasted for months, testing every survival instinct.
Their bodies were evolving, adapting to walk longer distances than any ape before them.
Water meant life. But every resource came with competition and danger.
But they had something no other prey possessed: intelligence, cooperation, and the will to fight back.
Victory came at a price. But each survival taught them something new about working together.
Social bonds were becoming more complex, more human-like. Grooming wasn't just hygiene, it was the foundation of society.
Knowledge was beginning to pass from generation to generation. The birth of culture itself.
They were creating something unprecedented, folks, permanent communities based on shared labor and mutual support. Specialization was emerging, each individual developing unique skills that benefited the whole group. But cooperation didn't come easily. Conflict over resources threatened to tear communities apart.
Leadership emerged not through strength alone, but through wisdom and the ability to preserve group unity.
They were learning the most human trait of all: fairness, the foundation of civilization. Even in sleep, they protected each other. Trust was becoming the cornerstone of survival. Each dawn brought new challenges, but they faced them together as one tribe. Hunting required new levels of coordination and planning. They were becoming strategic thinkers. Their prey had evolved sharp senses over millions of years. Success required patience and perfect timing.
When they struck, it was with precision, learned through countless failures and near-death experiences. Success in hunting meant survival for weeks. Failure meant watching children starve.
But resources were scarce. Other groups competed for the same hunting grounds, the same water sources. Territorial conflicts could destroy entire families. Diplomacy was a matter of life and death.
They were developing something revolutionary, the ability to negotiate, to find solutions without violence.
Nature reminded them of bigger threats. Survival against the elements required cooperation, not conflict. Crisis forged new alliances. They learned that survival was easier together than apart. Working together revealed new possibilities. Shared knowledge made everyone stronger.
By morning, two separate tribes had become one larger, stronger community.
Larger groups could tackle bigger prey. Cooperation was becoming their evolutionary advantage. Success required perfect timing, absolute trust, and willingness to risk everything for the group.
This single hunt would feed the entire community for weeks. Cooperation had unlocked abundance.
They were developing complete rules of fairness, the beginning of justice and morality. Shared meals became social rituals. Food wasn't just sustenance, it was community. Around these fires, they began sharing more than food. They shared knowledge, experiences, and the first stories.
What started as a temperate shelter was becoming something
Success attracted others. The community grew, and with it, new challenges and opportunities.
The greatest breakthrough was learning to control fire. This single discovery changed everything.
Fire meant cooked food, warmth through cold nights, protection from predators, and light in darkness.
For the first time in Earth's history, prey was becoming predator. The balance of power was shifting.
Cooked food meant better nutrition, stronger bodies, and most importantly, larger brains.
Better nutrition fueled innovation. Tools became more sophisticated, more specialized, more effective. Hunting evolved from desperate struggle to calculated strategy. Intelligence was replacing brute force. But the most remarkable development was yet to come, the birth of symbolic thinking and art.
Symbols could convey complex ideas across time and space. Abstract thinking was emerging. Language was evolving rapidly. Complex ideas could now be shared instantly across the entire community.
Education systems emerged. Knowledge could be preserved and improved by each generation.
They had created something unprecedented, a society based on shared knowledge, cooperation, and innovation.
Over thousands of generations, their bodies were changing. Natural selection favored intelligence over strength. Walking upright freed their hands for tools, their eyes for scanning horizons, their minds for planning ahead.
Their tools grew more complex, reflecting increasingly sophisticated minds capable of abstract planning. Social organization became increasingly complex, hierarchy based on wisdom and skill, not just physical dominance.
Hunting strategies evolved into complex operations, requiring planning, timing, and flawless execution.
They were developing abstract thinking, the ability to count, plan, and imagine future scenarios. Success led to expansion. They were claiming larger territories, establishing trade routes between communities. Trade networks emerged. Different communities specialized in different skills, sharing resources across vast distances.
Information could now be stored outside individual minds. The foundation of cumulative culture. Multi-generational communities allowed knowledge to accumulate. Each generation built on the last. Violence was giving way to negotiation. They were becoming more human with each passing generation. In the eyes of their children, the future of humanity was already visible.
7 million years ago, our ancestors took the first steps on a journey that would lead to cities, technology, and space exploration. The courage, intelligence, and cooperation they developed still drive us today. Every tool we use, every problem we solve, every challenge we face together traces back to these first pioneers.
The landscapes have changed, but the human spirit they forged remains unchanged.
7 million years ago, they looked up at the same stars we see tonight.